What's going on, everybody? This is your WOF Outlook and discussion for Friday, May 26, 2023. And before we get into today's video, I hope everyone is doing well, remaining positive, and as always, staying blessed. All right, you guys, taking a look at the tropics here on this good May 26th. You can see, you guys, that it is fairly quiet here across the Eastern Pacific, the Gulf of Mexico, the Caribbean, and even here across the Central and Eastern Atlantic. All is quiet with sheer and dry air ruling the game, you guys. The National Hurricane Center is still watching this coastal low that is developing here just to the east of the Florida's peninsula. That should continue to move to the north here and make landfall into the Carolinas sometime Saturday afternoon or on Sunday, you guys. A 10% chance of development is possible into a subtropical or tropical system, you guys, but judging at how this coastal low is getting itself together and setting up, this has a long way to go before this ever becomes a fully tropical system. So you guys, I'm not expecting this to become a named storm. I'm just expecting it to move into the Carolinas. It's going to bring in some weather as if it was a tropical depression or probably weak tropical storm, but for the most part, you guys, I'm expecting it to just be some gusty winds, dangerous surf here, and rip currents along the coastal areas with some heavy rain penetrating into parts of the Carolinas and Virginia, you guys, throughout the weekend. So if you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe so you can stay up to date and weather aware. You won't miss a beat when it comes to the National Hurricane Center and Storm Prediction Center as they post updates. I will have them posted on my shorts and community section here at your weather on the fly. Now, you guys, before we get to the lower 48 weather, we're going to take a look at the Western Pacific to see what that super typhoon is doing. And you guys, look at this. It is just amazing what the universe creates here, you guys. Like, look at this spinning. Thankfully, this is out in the open waters. This is a 165, 170 mile per hour category 5 typhoon, which is basically equivalent to a category 5 hurricane in the Atlantic. And this system is what a beauty this is, you guys, as this continues to spin here and move towards the west to west northwest here across the Western Pacific Ocean. After this storm went through that eye wall replacement cycle, it started to get itself back together just as it was crossing the northern, moving just to the north of Guam, you guys, and even brushing the northern coast of Guam. This system has really gotten itself together, you guys, and it is a beauty. But thankfully, it's not affecting any land at this point at that time at that kind of intensity. And as you can see here on the legend, you guys, where the storm is at, you can see it's about midway, but just about midway between Guam and the Philippines now, starting to become midway here. But as you can see, the track is going to continue to the west northwest for about 3 more days. Then you guys, it's going to come to a quick stop. Like the brakes are going to be quickly put on here for this storm as it's going to start to turn to the north and then start to curve out to the northeast. And at this time, you guys, increasing vertical wind shear, cooler upwelling of the waters due to this storm starting to slow down and turn. All of that is going to induce a weakening trend. So, you guys, as we get into this area, day 3 through 5, this storm will start to weaken. So, that will be good news, you guys. All right, as we get back to the lower 48 weather, that's all right. We're going to take all of the surface plots off so we can get to this severe weather express that's been going on the past few days, you guys. All right, now as you can see, that's the 10% chance for the tropical development here off the southeast coast. But as I said, I'm just expecting it to be a coastal low moving inland into the Carolinas sometime tomorrow afternoon or on Sunday. Now, as we get to the severe weather express, yet again from the Canadian border all the way to the Mexico border, we do have a chance for some severe weather. And the Storm Prediction Center actually has an enhanced risk out here for parts of southeastern New Mexico and extreme southwest Texas, which does include Pecos. Y'all know I loves to butcher names. I don't love to butcher them, but I just butchers them trying to pronounce them. But hey, I tried, you guys. Hobbs is in a enhanced risk. Roswell, small little enhanced risk here, but we do have one that's going to be. So that means we're going to have to really pay attention here across parts of southeast New Mexico and extreme West Texas here, you guys, with that slight risk does include Midland, just to the west of Lubbock here, as we go all the way down to Alpine, extending all the way even further south towards the U.S.-Mexico border here, you guys. And this slight risk does extend to just about as far north as Clovis here. As we move into the second area, risk area, which is a slight risk, you guys, for parts of southeast Montana, going into eastern Wyoming, extending all the way down into northeast Colorado, you guys. This is where that slight risk and the marginal risk does extend all the way up into the U.S. Canadian border. Now, as we check to see the probability here, tornado threat, we have a 5% chance of tornadoes of a spin up here across parts of southeast New Mexico, a 2% chance on the outer edge of that. So that's within that enhanced risk area, you guys. So we will have some spin ups more than likely possible. We do have a 2% chance of some spin ups here, possibly across extreme southeast Wyoming, northeast Colorado here, and extreme western Nebraska. We'll be on the lookout for a few tornadoes in that area as well. Hail probability 1 to 1.5 inch in diameter, a 15% chance up across the northern extent of the slight risk area, a 30% over that enhanced risk. So hail will be a big player here today, you guys, and even wind. Along the northern extent of the storm mode, 15% chance of those winds pushing 50 to 60, gusting to 70, possibly even as high as 75 to 80. Here across the southern mode, we have a 30% chance of that 50 to 60 mile per hour winds gusting to 70 here, you guys. As we look at the significant tornado risk, none as of now. That is always good news. Here across extreme southeast New Mexico, West Texas here, we do have a hatched area for hail that could be on the order of 2 to 3 inches in diameter, you guys. So we will be on the lookout for some very large hail. No significant winds. As we go to the HRRR, you guys, to see just how these storms are going to materialize and play out during the next 48 hours. All right, get this to load. Let's see, all right. All right, and you guys, we start here at about 12 noon here at your Weather on the Fly. And we also, and you guys, before I start this, there is a small little marginal risk here as well across parts of the extreme southern Florida peninsula here, the Miami, Fort Lauderdale area. It was so small, I was just about to miss it, you guys. But yes, we do have an area that could see some marginal risk for severe weather across southern Florida as well. But as we look here at the models, 12 noon, showers and thunderstorms starting to increase in coverage here across the western United States. We have a few showers here across Nebraska, the Texas Panhandle. Look at the coastal low, this sloppy mess of a weather here off the southeast U.S. coast. Here starting to increase in coverage. As we get to about 5 p.m., you guys. All right, you can see here the coastal low across the Carolinas, rain starting to increase and penetrate further inland as the day goes along, as we move into the evening and overnight. And here across the severe weather expressway, you guys, you can see cells are starting to pop here across eastern New Mexico and West Texas. This will be as early as 3 to 5 o'clock. So you guys, this is going to start pretty early here, and these storms will have to potentially be producing all hazards here up along this slight risk area and even this enhanced risk further to the south across parts of West Texas and New Mexico. We move on to about 8, 9 in the evening. You guys, look at this cluster of showers and thunderstorms extending from central Montana into southeast Montana, eastern Wyoming, going on down into parts of eastern Colorado, western Nebraska. Heavy rains could be with these storms as well. We will be on the lookout for some flash flooding as well as the isolated, very large hail damaging wind gusts and a possible spin up or two of a tornado. Look at these strong cells that's going to be ongoing here, still across parts of extreme eastern New Mexico, West Texas. All hazards will be possible with those storms as well. And look at this coastal low here starting to try to get itself together as it moves inland across the Carolinas. We go into the overnight hours, you guys. You can see all this heavy rain and severe weather along the severe weather expressway starts to decrease in intensity and in coverage here, because still have some heavy rains across parts of northern Montana. But look at the heavy rain that's starting to come inland across the Georgia and South Carolina coastlines as we head into Saturday morning, which will segue us into Convective Outlook Day 2, you guys. And as you can see, this is why I call it the Severe Weather Expressway, because as you can see from the U.S. Canadian border to the U.S. Mexico border, yet again for Saturday, we will have a marginal risk for some severe weather, and I will not be surprised if this is upgraded to a slight risk at some point in time, not the whole marginal risk, but at some point. So a few of these areas within this marginal risk could be upgraded to a slight risk. As we go to Saturday morning, look at the heavy rains that could possibly be causing some flooding here across the Carolinas and the extreme in the Georgia coastline here. So this is going to be a nasty start for the weekend for you guys. Let's check the probability. This margin, all right, we're not going to have any tornado threat as of right now for tomorrow. 5% chance of that hail pushing 1 to 1.5 inch in diameter, and 5% chance of those winds 50 to 60 miles per hour gusting to 70. And as we continue to HRRR out, you guys, this will be Saturday around noon. You can see not much going on. Here we go again across the western United States, increasing showers and thunderstorms as the day progresses here. And look, as this coastal low starts to make its way closer inland, just a washout for the Carolinas and parts of eastern Georgia for Saturday. As we move on to 5, 6 o'clock in the evening, you guys, tomorrow on Saturday. Look at the severe weather expressway. Look at these cells starting to pop here. Isolated large hail and locally damaging winds will be all a hazard here as we get towards Saturday evening. Still a washout of a mess going on here across parts of the Carolinas, across parts of the Carolinas. Looking here at the HRRR, all of the Carolinas, all of South Carolina and North Carolina will be experiencing some type of rain here as we move on into Saturday afternoon and evening. As we go into the overnight hours, look at this cluster of showers and thunderstorms here across west central Texas. Flooding will be a possibility with these storms, so we will be on the lookout for that as we go into Saturday night into Sunday morning. That have some clusters of showers and thunderstorms here, even all the way from parts of eastern Montana, western North Dakota, all the way on down to parts of western Nebraska, even west central South Dakota. You guys, heavy showers and a rumble of thunder could be going on during the overnight hours on Saturday. Then you guys look at the showers and thunderstorms. The coverage is starting to decrease here as this low starts to move inland. This coastal low moves inland, but it will still have, for Sunday, we will still have some nasty weather here. Probably won't be as bad as it was for Saturday, but it will still not be as pleasant of a weekend as we would hope for along the southeast U.S. coast. And as we go, as far as the HRRR will take us out, which will be 7 a.m. Sunday morning, which does segue us into Convective Outlook Day 3. And you guys, it looks like the Storm Prediction Center wants to put it all the way from the U.S.-Canadian border all the way to the U.S.-Mexico border, but the Severe Weather Expressway but that is Day 3 Sunday stops here at the Texas Panhandle, but we will be on the lookout for it, you guys. So as you can see, the severe weather is going to be pretty active here across the nation for the next few days, you guys. So if you haven't done so already, be sure to share, like, and subscribe so you can stay up to date and weather aware. You will not miss any updates as they come out. I have them posted here in my shorts and community section, you guys. And before we go, I want to also give y'all one last look here at this super typhoon that's in the Western Pacific, just to see what the universe creates here out in the middle of these waters. When they stay out in the middle of these waters, this is a beautiful sight to see. This is not a beautiful sight to see if this is coming up near land at this type of intensity. So that's going to be it for this video, you guys. Everyone be safe, be careful, and I'll talk to you all in the next one.